Welcome to the Mez Garden. We have a beautiful array of vegetables here, from lettuce to onions and string beans, and right behind me are the tomatoes. And if you swing around and look at the other side of the garden, you see a beautiful trickling pond. And we have humongous amounts of fish basking in that pond. For today's show, I'm going to be picking a zucchini, and I'll show you what I'm going to do with it. So I'll get a nice close-up, and in order to take a zucchini off, you have to hold the base of the plant and just easily twist. And there you have a nice small to medium-sized zucchini, just enough for several breads. Well, now you just saw me pick this in the garden, and I'm going to set it aside and do a little prep work first. I'm going to make tropical zucchini breads, and I'm using 3 little mini bake pans. Now, the first thing you need to do is spray the bottoms of each pan, and then add a little bit of flour, okay? And then place little pieces of wax paper on the base of each little mini pan, like so. And then one more time, spray it. Now, this is just the beginning. Okay, now here goes. I need to cut off the top stem and a little bit on the bottom. I prefer taking off some of the skin. Some people might prefer leaving all the greenery on, but just every inch or so, take off a strip and it'll be fine. That, and that looks good. Okay, and after you do that, just take a grater, shredder, and begin as much as you can. Almost there. Need about 1.25 cups, and I think that will do it. That looks good. And what I'll do is I'll put it in here just to measure to see if there we have a good cup. And this looks like 1/4, a heaping amount. Okay, so we've got the shredded zucchini. So you see there are some seeds that are showing up in the zucchini, but they're soft. And if you want to pick some of them out, you can. Otherwise, they will cook in nicely. You don't have to be concerned. Now, what I like to do is take the zucchini and put it in a paper towel and try to squeeze out as much of the moisture as I can. And you just take it and squeeze, and you'll see there are droplets of water coming out. And open it up carefully, and then what you do is put it in a bowl. Make sure you get all the paper towel out. And you're ready for the next step. So now the dry ingredients. I have a large bowl and I'm going to add some flour and then sugar, some baking powder, like so, and some salt, there. And the last thing is baking soda, and that's 3/4 of a teaspoon. And then you take and stir it all up and set it aside. Now to add the liquid ingredients, you take your oil, I use sunflower oil, an egg, and your extracts, which is vanilla, rum, and coconut. Just a 1/4 teaspoon of each, so it's very little. And then mix it all together. Good. I make a well and pour the liquid ingredients into it, and then just mix it, fold it over, just until it's blended. You don't have to over mix it, just until it's moist, like so. Now the final step is to add the 3 major ingredients. You have the zucchini and your crushed pineapple, and it's been drained, and then some walnuts. This is 3 tablespoons of walnuts. And then just gently mix it all together. This is really a delicious zucchini bread. And I like to make the small ones so I can share them with others. Just make sure you get right to the bottom so that all the flour is blended into the mixture. And this looks good. Okay, we're ready to fill the pans. I start out with a heaping spatula full at first. See how far this goes. And then after that, we can add a little bit more on top. Before I put them in the oven, I just like to spread them out evenly. Give them a fresh start. There you go. And we're ready to put into a 350-degree oven for about 45 minutes. The zucchini breads have been in the oven for a little over 45 minutes, so let's see how they are. What you'll need to do is test them with a toothpick. So let's put them here and take a long toothpick and go right in the center, clean. And as you see, each and every one is clean. So now what we have to do is just wait about 10-15 minutes for these cakes to cool, and I'll show you how to take them out of the pan. Now let's try one of these cakes or zucchini breads and just give it a little starter. And I'm going to flip it here first to show you that you need to remove the wax paper. Look at that. Isn't that great? And then you can just gently take and fold it over onto a plate. I'd like to take one of the zucchini breads and cut it open to show you what it looks like inside, and also to show you how easy it is to cut, like so. And then I'll do a chunk, or I should say a slice, so that you can see how easy it is to cut. And it's filled, you can see the pineapple and the nuts, and I am going to take a little bite. You can taste all those tropical flavors, and I hope you have a chance to make it this summer. I've made it on a very tropical day. It's quite hot, and yet I wanted to make this so that you could have the pleasure of baking a few loaves to enjoy, and it is such a tasty treat. So here's hoping. Remember, you have 3 small zucchini breads. That goes a long way. I have another nice summer treat for you, and this is an orange cheesecake bar. And what I'm going to do is use little vanilla wafers as the base. And what you need to do is take and put them in a blender and mix them and grind them up so that they look really fine, like so. And you're going to take some melted butter, it's a half a stick of unsalted butter, and pour it over the crumbs and just mix them up gently, and you'll add them to an 8-inch square already greased pan, and it'll go into the oven. I have a 350-degree oven right now, and it'll go into the oven for about 10 minutes, and then you'll take it out and we'll do the next step. So let me show you how once everything is combined, you take and put it in the pan and spread it out evenly, like so. And if you have to, use your fingers and get in the corners and press it down like so. Now, 10 minutes are up, and I'm just going to set it on a wire rack. It can cool a little bit while I'm doing the next step. And I need to put the temperature on the oven for 300 degrees. And now I'll work to make the filling. I'm adding the first 3 ingredients. The first being cream cheese, and the second will be sugar, and last, a couple of eggs. Now, what I'm going to do is blend all of this, and then I'll add a few more ingredients. Just make sure you keep it on low speed, otherwise it'll fly up in your face. And the last two ingredients are the orange juice and orange zest, which is the grated outside skin of an orange. And it's about a teaspoon. And once this is completely mixed in, you'll then add this to the base. So I'll shut her off, and now I'll pour it on top of the crust. And this will go into the oven, again 300 degrees, for 30 to 40 minutes. And you'll watch it near the end to make sure you start to see a little browning on the edges or maybe on top, and that will mean that it is perfectly done. It's been about 40 minutes, and I'm going to check the filling. And as you can see, it's a little bit brown around the edges. Now, what I'm going to do is make sure that the center is solid. So just take lightly. It's great. Definitely solid. Now what I need to do is put this on a rack for 20 minutes, let it cool. I'm going to make the oven temperature 325, and I'll work on the top layer of ingredients. All right, we start out with the sour cream. Next, some confectioner sugar. Okay. And a little bit of orange extract, about a half a teaspoon. That's enough. And then we need some coloring. So I'll just drop a little bit of yellow and 1 drop of red. And we'll see what it looks like. Good color. Perfect color. And I'll just mix it around a little bit and wait for the base of the cheesecake to solidify and cool. Now that the base is cooled down, I'm going to add on the sour cream and confectioner sugar mix, and I'll stir it all around and put it back in the oven for a few minutes. Yeah. Just make sure that you cover everything, and I'm going to use a smaller implement to get around the corners. There, like so. See how it makes the spread a lot easier. And eventually, once this is completed, you'll see that there's a beautiful garnish that goes on top, and it's little oranges and dollops of whipped cream. So it really, it's a great dessert to have on a hot day, and you can cool down. So this is just about done, and we'll put it back in the oven. Again, this is just for 10 minutes, so just make sure you watch it on 325. Okay, now everything is hopefully completely baked, and you have a nice topping, and it'll need to cool, and then eventually you're going to refrigerate it, and once it's totally solidified, I will then add the dollops of whipped cream and the mandarin oranges, and we can have a wonderful summer treat. I chilled the bars and overnight, and I'm going to show you how to put the deco topping on. You start with either a whipped topping or whipped cream, and then you're going to position some orange slices on top. Now, you could use mandarin oranges like I'm doing, or you could get candied orange slices or fresh orange pieces. Now that is what you're doing. You proceed in that way. Once you've decorated everything, you then carefully cut each piece, and they should come out fairly easily, and that is the first piece. And I would like to show you, it is a very, very easy cutting dessert, and it is delicious. Take it from me, you'll love it. And I did 9 pieces. It's up to you if you want to make them smaller or larger. And so I hope you look forward to a couple of nice summer treats. See you next time.